Noting that it's 7 p.m. on October 16th, 2019, I'll call the Board of Health meeting to order. We have one variance hearing this evening for a septic replacement, a number of items of business, but also I'm going to announce some items to potentially be added as they were not reasonably anticipated by the chair 48 hours in advance of the meeting, and then we can take a vote to amend the agenda. We have 3 items, unless anyone has something more. We have 198 South Main Street for a septic alteration. We have disposal works installer permit for Gilmore Construction, and a discussion about a joint meeting with Dover. Does anyone have anything else, or would anyone like to make a motion to add those amendments to the agenda?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. So let's do joint meeting with Dover, since they just wrote today.
Yeah, yesterday.
Yesterday.
What she called. Karen Hiet from Dover called telling me that she got a message from her board to call to schedule a meeting, that they want to discuss mutual interests and a possible joint grant application. So I asked her what the grant application would be about, and she had no idea.
Oh,
She said,
is this hypothetical or is it?
Told her to call to
No,
schedule a meeting.
And also, I had sent an email to them immediately after our last meeting, saying, we talked about it, we'd like to invite you to one of our meetings, here are the next meeting dates. I gave them through December, or up to January, first one in January, only one in January, and then mentioned that we want to talk about AAA for that meeting, and decide.
So I just, so
When
I
is
just
it? So what are we talking
Well, so that we gave them dates and they said, hey, we should schedule, like, no, but we gave you the dates, you just pick one of them. No, we
Okay.
scheduled.
They didn't.
And then we said we wanted to talk about AAA, and they
Right.
said
And now
other
they
things
have other
too, so.
things to talk about. I did
So-
say to her that
No
you
anti-vax.
had wanted them to come here. And she said that's fine. So she wants me to get back to her, which meeting we need. So I did check.
November 20th.
No. Nice try, Matt.
Because that was my other question. Should it be a meeting when all 5 of you are here?
I don't think it particularly matters. November 20th.
No, he's kidding because he's not here.
I'm not kidding.
We're not.
It's fine with me, I don't care if it's.
Because I think we're short November 13th and November 20th, and so then it's a question of October 16th, which is today.
Yeah.
And so
Or
November.
December,
December.
or January.
But in
What
I wouldn't
are
do
the
Jan-
December dates? I just wanna-
4th and 18th.
Okay.
either of those would work. I wouldn't do the January just because I wouldn't do it in a month where we only had one meeting.
Okay, so strike that.
I'm here as far as I know on both of those.
Well, how about we just send them the dates and see what works?
Yeah.
We could say preferably the ones in December,
Either one.
secondarily the November ones. And then see what works, and maybe mention to her that we wanted to limit it because we don't, our meetings tend to run long, and I told her, could we start with one?
I think we look forward to spending.
How about we say that we want a list of discussion topics that we will select, our preference in advance.
I'm
So-
interested in hearing what they think we should discuss.
Well,
Because
I'm
I
saying
think
they
there's
could
some
send that to
public health
us,
issues
right?
That we share.
But I think Lisa's point is like, let's.
Yeah, we
circulate
already shot that over the bow, and now they're saying there's some other things, so before, for example, I'm not interested in discussing about anti-vaxxer concerns with the vax rate we have in this town. It's just not a priority, so I'm not.
So one thing I wanted to mention to you is the Board of Health member I spoke to suggested that the visiting nurses had different information than what the schools had.
But how'd the
And
Venus?
I-
How could that be?
Yeah, I wasn't,
Record keeping.
No, but the school
That's our part.
was
About
required
vaccinations.
vaccination, so I would definitely.
So what I would say
I
is,
don't know how they would be involved.
The most
Yeah.
accurate.
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know either.
They are
And-
the ones that mandated, they're the ones who collect the data and report it to the state.
Visiting nurses?
The school
No,
does, the
that's for
school
that's
does.
for the
I don't
exposure,
know
not
about
for full
What
vaccination.
information you're referring to.
Like-
There's a lot of epidemiological.
No, we're talking
No,
about,
no.
so there's required vaccinations to even go to a school. So the school asks for the physicians to provide the vaccination, like I had to do health forms. The
Yeah.
school nurse is the one who you have to
Yeah.
submit that to, so
Are
the
you only
schools have.
talking about?
We're talking about
vaccine?
vaccinations, yeah.
Is that only with the vaccination?
Well, what I would say is, I think we should
We
invite
don't
them
know.
for 30 minutes. I think we should ask them for the
List.
topic in
Oh,
advance to just kind of
Maybe
say
a
like,
time.
right.
Yeah.
Just to kind of say like, let's have a clear set of expectations, because we're not gonna have a meeting that's just this
Free
conversation.
form, yeah.
And this will be a very difficult conversation to have from 9 to 10:30 at night.
Yeah.
So kind of saying,
Like
this
8
is
to
the first
8:30.
conversation. If we have more stuff we need to talk about, great. But if we wanna have it be fruitful in decision days, then you wanna have a list of topics beforehand.
So we should have the beginning or the end.
7 to 7:30.
That
Yeah,
sounds
I
great.
think that'd be great.
Variance hearing to the 30.
Yeah,
Okay.
and I think it's also a good
And as
topic
long
to
as that,
discuss.
you know, works for them getting here, otherwise we can have a later time. And I guess maybe suggest that Tripoli is at the top of our list. If the grant issue is time sensitive, then that might be number 2, and then whatever else they think would fit within the.
I think we should find out what it is, because
I think that'd be, just to,
Yeah.
because if we're only dedicating half an hour, the, you know, the
Yeah.
more we know in advance, I think the
yeah,
better.
the more fruitful the conversation will be.
Exactly.
And I think you'd also want to have it posted as a topic for discussion, just so if people in Sherborn were like, I'm interested in this topic, I would want to say, we've listed this as, you know, an open meeting without sharing with the community, these are the things we intend to talk about, especially as it pertains to school.
I don't know if you ever have occasion to speak with the visiting nurses, but do they see vaccination information for people outside the school age range? And is there something going on there that?
You mean people who don't go to the public schools?
I'm
No,
sure
I think
that
your
they
point is
have-
like, if
I'm
it's
sure
not
they
school-based.
do.
They probably
The
have
flu
access to
vaccine,
the
elderly people,
um,
locations.
so whatever it's called, where it all, but it's only what's input into there. We input the flu vaccine into the statewide database, so they have access in medical office, has access to it, so they would have access to it. But
So maybe there's something else that they're talking
I don't know what they're
about.
doing.
So, okay. Yeah, I was just curious if there's a way to have some sense of what that might be. Okay.
I'm here just in case. I don't think I need to be here. I'm here just in case, Mark.
Okay. Okay. All right, so anything else? Are we all okay with that general
Yep.
approach, half hour, something? Okay. Okay, the other 2 items, I think we need Mark. Oh, the letter from the MAHB, which is to go to state and federal, it looks like to me. That would be their intent.
I think not state and federal, just state.
Is it just state?
Yeah, she said, we are asking you to send it to your senator and state represent, okay. I don't know, is she talking about senator?
Yeah, I wasn't
Well, she
positive, and I
names
didn't
the-
look it up
There's
yet.
a pending bill in the Senate, the state Senate, and there's a corresponding one in in the House. So I think
I think
she needs
state,
state it to
legislative.
the Senate, not Elizabeth Warren and Markey and
No.
that kind
No,
of.
it's whoever replaced, Richard Ross, whoever won that election is a woman. Sorry.
So I'm in favor of forwarding this resolution. It's very similar to what we did.
I guess my struggle is I feel like we have a clear vaping public health crisis. It's not clear to me that we have a menthol cigarette public health crisis of the same acuity. And so while I'd personally favor, like my own personal belief is I would favor both because I think there are the issues with menthol that I think are well-based. It feels a little disingenuous to kind of say we have a vaping crisis and menthol cigarettes are the real problem too. Like, to me, it feels like it confounds two important issues, but like, I haven't seen data that shows giant spikes in kids smoking menthol in the data review we did.
Well, the resolution says accept mint and menthol, so,
So it doesn't seem like it's targeted.
well, it seems like it's specifically not targeting.
Right, so what's your concern then?
About,
Oh, no, sorry, I thought it was,
it's about halfway down, whereas flavors
perfect,
are already
okay, yeah, then I'm on board. I missed that
Yeah.
part. I misunderstood it in the information section where they talked, menthol makes it harder to quit.
Well, that may be true,
That's in,
but
that's in their upper section, but then I'm good.
So we're supporting?
I support it.
So how do we do that? Do we just
Support it.
say that the Board of Health supports sending it, and do we send it through Ellen, or?
Okay, so, I would assume that we could vote to agree that we would sign this and send it on behalf of the town of Sherborn. We could all sign it, I could sign it, somebody could sign it. The one thing I would change, not that anyone would ever see it, if they're receiving these from a bunch of cities and towns, at that last be it known, it says supports a ban on flavored tobacco products. I'm just nervous of some wiggle. I'd rather see tobacco and nicotine delivery products. And the rest of the sentence, only because I don't know if there is some weird distinction.
We can amend it any way we want, so we're not bound by that language.
What was your concern with
That-
that current language?
That tobacco extracted from, nicotine extracted from tobacco is no longer a tobacco product.
I guess.
I don't know. I don't know if all nicotine is derived from tobacco. Is it synthesized? Is there another source?
I think the question is, if our intention is to say we're intending to speak to vaping, then I think we could just take out a ban on flavored tobacco products with flavored nicotine delivery products. And it sort of covers that and doesn't introduce any confounding.
So have both.
Like, we had a public hearing where we said, where people expressed concern about menthol and chew and menthol
Right.
cigarettes, or mint chew and menthol cigarettes. And one of my personal pieces, like, I would get rid of those. If we say tobacco products, whereas here, flavors are already banned in certain products except mint and menthol, it does leave some ambiguity in the be it known that if you're saying, I support banning this, I think that the intent of this is kind of specific to vaping products, but
Right. It's a little
it,
loose.
it could be loose, and I don't want there to be a perception that we had a bunch of conversations where we said, this is where we're gonna regulate, and it's not our interest to extend that. Like, we're not a regulating body, I think we all are consistent in supporting this, but that part.
I think we had in ours, I haven't read ours recently, but I think we had nicotine delivery. With
Yeah.
some
That sounds
discussion
right.
in ours. So, okay, so now I'm not sure. You suggest
Support a ban on flavored nicotine delivery products.
period?
Yep.
Yeah,
Oh,
I agree.
okay, works. Okay.
This is up to that.
Not flavored tobacco and nicotine delivery products.
I just feel like we.
Wait,
had a
that's
conversation-
broadening it beyond, I mean, this says very specifically stopping vaping and e-cigarette epidemic, so the whole rest of it is talking
It's people
specifically
vaping,
about
right.
that, so let's keep it.
Okay,
Yeah.
and then you keep the excise parity for the cigarettes? and
Yeah.
everything?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, this should be cheaper than, yeah.
Yeah. So, okay. And you have a motion to sign and send this as amended?
So moved.
Second.
Okay. All in favor?
Competition.
Aye.
Aye.
And does everyone want to sign a copy when it's done? No.
That's-
I'm-
You could sign on behalf
I'm
of-
wildly ambivalent.
I do not need a sign.
All right, so everyone's okay if I sign it?
Sign it and send it.
Okay. Okay.
update on the food inspector position?
Yes. Ooh, so Ellen and I met the other day and we went through it carefully. Looked at, Ellen had pulled examples of some other postings for food inspectors, just to see fair and look at language and things that were important, and also to make it short but contain all the important moments. So we did come up with something new. So we don't have a copy.
Yeah, I don't have it.
Um,
I did email it to both David and Debbie and ask them to put it on the website, post as soon as possible. Send it out. I haven't heard back.
So when you say send it out, like, so where is this?
He has posted it on MMA.
Yes,
Put it in.
What about the town website too?
Yeah,
Yes,
it would
yeah.
initially go on there.
And there are a few other, NAHB is a possibility, and NEHB, do we have that one?
MEHA, M-E-H-A. MEHA.
Oh, okay.
Mass Environmental Health Association?
But we have to see that, you know, he's thinking, and then ask him, is he aware of these others? I don't know, so we may get back to you and let you know.
I'll check, I meant to check the website before.
You mean the town website?
Yeah.
And it is for food, you termed it food/camp inspector.
Okay, that seems fair.
Since there's a lot of overlap there with
Yeah.
food issues and safety of that at the camps.
Look at the town website.
But it's also geared for someone who's not covering every aspect of health agent work, which could be good for our budget, so. Any other questions? Okay. Let's see. Minutes?
They look good.
So I've already acknowledged I really like that the manufacturer's help desk is in quotes. And the other comment I just had was for the, when we kind of discussed the Dover Board of Health, the last sentence that starts with "this point stated." I think that we sort of, like, I think there's a little bit more context there, which is where we sort of talked about previous data review
Right.
in Sherborn and identified that.
I thought I came off a little brusque.
Was it, no, but I think we sort of
We
said,
did.
like, I think we
We
sort of said,
said
like, we've reviewed the
reviewed
data.
the
given that
statistics
the
and
data
did not-
looks like this isn't a big issue, we wouldn't want to necessarily.
We did, we could add that sentence, and I also thought Matt agreed with me,
I
so.
totally agree.
So I thought we
Dr.
could put
Vitale
both of
agreed.
us, our names. And I just checked the town website and I do not see that position posted.
Okay, I'll check with them tomorrow.
It says EMT and fire department.
Right, and I guess I will add, if you want more in that list, that, right, I think you found 2 students or something in the list who had received vaccinations, which, if I recall our discussion, the thought was that they could have health issues that would prevent that, and it was not a high number, so.
Or as they say, the herd immunity would not be compromised by that small number.
Can I follow up with them and I'm able to do second of November? Because it was, in the minutes, it was left as a question and I'm able to follow up, so can we go?
Oh, you cannot?
I can, I am able. I will
Okay,
go
so wait.
on November 2nd.
But, what?
In the
the
minutes?
MAHB.
Yeah, no.
I was like, wait, we don't have one.
No, MAHB. Yes, on Saturday.
There's Mark. I see Mark.
I was gonna say.
Agent's business as soon,
Well, while
before
we're
he
waiting for
even
Mark,
sits
while
down.
we're waiting for him to come in, can we sign warrants and payroll?
Yep.
Ben is grabbing his stuff. You said it now.
So then the minutes are approved as amended, right?
So.
Yes, do
Minutes
we
are
have a
approved as
motion
amended.
to approve the minutes as amended?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Can we put, did we serve land on a punchline for the Sharps disposal container, and do we want to have that at the agenda for the next meeting? Or do we just need to
Yes.
have the advisory about it? The Sharps drop.
That, yeah.
Yeah, we will probably, we have someone new who wants to come to the meeting. We're not gonna be discussing the budget, but we haven't received guidelines yet.
Yeah, I heard today that they should be coming out the last week in October or early November.
Okay.
So
So
I'll
maybe the
put
second
that on the
November meeting.
November 13th, the first meeting.
Oh, yeah, so we should have it before then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Some payroll agenda items for the next meeting.
Yeah, let's see where we end up.
Yeah.
We'll circle back to that. So we,
Oh, maybe we'll have information on Jameson Field, something like that.
or maybe we should,
Not yet.
But the next
that
meeting's in-
testing was scheduled for Friday this week. Sean canceled it because of the weather tomorrow, that it would, the fields would be wet. It was on a loom field. So then the next Friday, the soil evaluation, William Perry, I think his name is, cannot make it. So now they're looking, they're gonna schedule with Mark for sometime in November.
do we want to have it on the November 13th agenda, just so we have a spot? If there's no
Okay.
update, we can just check it off and say, no update. Does that seem reasonable?
Yes. Just people are wondering out there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any other agenda items?
There's one variance hearing that night so far. Well,
The 13th.
And right now for the Hunting Lane public water supply, like that testing, we don't have any expectation that we'll be getting any additional information.
I don't think so.
Okay.
What, the test data or any?
Or just like it doesn't,
Well,
like that's not an
logs.
open agenda item for us because we're not the approving body.
Oh, I did speak to someone at the state though, and they think that we should be getting the logs, although they said if we go through the public access for those, it can take longer to get them because they post them a little later, but internally, they should have them, and it's been at least a month since they drilled.
They
so-
sent us
So I should-
well completion reports, we know the depth and the pump rate, but not
It's not the
quality.
full,
Nothing about the quality. Is that what you're talking about?
No, there should be like boring
yeah,
logs,
boring.
like monitoring
So
well distillation.
completion log is that the same, that's all the information where bedrock is encountered.
Right, and they like
So-
do screening and
Oh, all right.
stratigraphy.
Yeah, I think so.
So where is that?
The state has it, and we can usually get it through public access of that information, but she just felt that there was a delay between when they officially receive it and have it available in-house versus when we could access. But she would be willing to help us, but again, maybe it's a month has passed, so it might be,
I think we have it.
yeah, okay,
Yeah.
okay. That might be interesting to look at.
Yeah,
So maybe should that be on the agenda for the
Because-
13th?
Yeah.
because one of the wells had like a 25 gallon per minute rate, and the other one was 5 maybe.
So instead of flow rate, but
So-
yeah, we're,
So maybe we could
Okay,
just
so
have-
let's, yeah, have it on the list of things, and we'll find it. at some point we need to talk about the bedrock construction, but I really did work on that. Things we're going to modify or try to finalize what's in it's fast discussion on the notice sheet.
And then the regular.
And then some background information and why we arrived at this and why it's important.
But don't we still need to fix the
And fix, yes.
reference
And that-
and the section?
One is administrative, one is medical.
Right.
So we do need to do that.
So you're talking about the administrative pieces.
Okay, so we want to start for 5 minutes, because we have to wait till the post minute. So, Mark,
Right, because of butter.
I can catch your breath, because now I'll ask you. We have 3 items. Maybe one of them could fit in 4 minutes.
I think we can do 2 disposal.
Yeah.
I think we can do 2 in 5.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Let's
okay.
do it.
All right, so we have a,
You don't?
Perfect, it'll be quick.
So that means that you don't know anything bad about it.
That's right.
You've heard of veteran service.
That's what we were waiting for.
oh, which one are we talking about?
That either of them.
Yeah.
Either.
So,
All right, have you received any information about?
Yeah, so for Hunter Environmental,
other business.
yeah, because he was on first, he
Yep.
was on the original agenda. He's from Walpole. We checked the references, North Attleboro, he's been licensed for 2 years, he's done septic installations, they haven't had any issues. Swansea, he's currently licensed, he has installed 1 system and did a fine job. And Norton is not licensed as an installer now, he wasn't in either 2018. He put that as a
Norton's
reference, but
self-licensed.
Oh, no, I thought you said.
he said he did indicate on his application, although he put it as a reference, that he is not licensed, but he did an installation at a specific address under Kenny Jones. Kenny Jones, I think, is licensed here. Anyway, so that's what we have.
Okay.
for them.
I did have a chance to speak with him. He's actually an engineer, wanting to finish a job up for a previous installer who installed the system but hasn't gotten back to us for the inspection. So he wants to cover it, and we did get the as-built and the SIV analysis for it. It's okay, but I told him it's going to be complicated because we're still going to need the original installer's construction certificate of the work, and then his final grade certification. So it'll be a split job. It's at 73 Prospect Street. I believe he knows the homeowner, or that's how we got to find out about this job.
As long as it's.
I told him we do pre-construction, even though it's mostly constructed, and
Yeah.
this has to go first, and if this is okay, then we can proceed to get the job.
Well, and it sounds like it's going to be good to have you closely involved if it's getting
Yeah,
a
it's
little
partially
complicated.
Yeah.
So, okay, so do we have a motion to approve the disposal works and solar permit for Hunter Environmental Winter Services?
Conditional to pre-construction.
Yes.
Still so moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, then we have the other disposal works and solar permit for Matthew Gilmore Construction.
Yeah, this one just came in today. He had called and said, last week, and he was gonna bring it in last week, didn't have a chance. Was gonna bring it in yesterday, didn't have a chance, but he came in today. He's from South Deerfield, so I don't know what job he's planning to do, if any.
Well, he does want it for 2019, so.
Yeah,
Sounds like he must be something.
references he gave were South Deerfield, Montague, and Northfield. So we did call South Deerfield, said he's installed many systems, no problem, he's a one-man operation, always shows up, always finishes work, does a nice job. Montague, we had to leave a message, and we had to call back. And Northfield, called earlier today, and she called back at 6:30 tonight and said he is currently licensed there, but he's new there. He, as in, they don't really have a history with him, but she said they've received no complaints to date.
All right, so do we have a motion to approve the disposal works and solar permit for Gilmore Construction, subject, conditional to pre-construction comments?
So move.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. It is 7:30, and we have a variance hearing for 84 Mill, a septic replacement. Are there any abutters to 74? Okay. Even if you're not in a butter, if you would like to come up while the engineer explains why there are variances being requested, feel free. And do we have the green cards?
Good evening. Dan McIntyre representing the homeowner, Marcia Brook. She recently purchased this home, and we decided to shut down this one for her. The old one, passed that project. So the Mill Street is down here, so a long driveway coming up. The existing home is served by a set pool with two little cesspools that were installed. So this doesn't have as many constraints as we're used to, but it's a good. Obviously, there's a wetlands back here. It's kind of a high, with a steep slope going down to the wetlands. We did test pits here. There's shallow ledge. We have enough soils for our septic system, but there is ledge in the area, which is one of the variances we're looking at. So we're going to be taking out the existing cesspools, putting in a new septic tank, and a gravity system using the Elgin system from that.
And how many feet are you able to maintain beneath the Elgin system?
For the groundwater, we're maintaining 4 foot per Title 5. With the Elgin system, allows you to go to 2 foot to groundwater. We're not asking for that, we're keeping it high enough above the groundwater table. The reason we went with the IA technology is because of the ledge. In Sherborn, we want to be 6 feet above ledge. We would have to make 4.5 feet above ledge here. So we went with the IA technology, a little more treatment before it hit the ledge.
Right, and that's partly why I was asking, because you
Yeah.
could go down to 2, but because there's ledge, there's usually an extra foot, so
We didn't want to.
4.5 seems.
It worked out fine just the way it is, so. It meets Title V, but we are asking for the offset for ledge for sure, as well as their existing well in the front yard. We can only be 160 away from that.
So it's their well.
It's their well. We meet the offset for the abutters wells.
So, okay, so this is, right, the usual tight circumstances. This is certainly better than cesspools. Which
Typical
fits,
cesspools.
so,
What is
yeah.
the timing on this cesspool? Is right now?
And I'm guessing even though it's a long driveway, if you come from the well here and try to maintain an appropriate distance, you might not have enough room in front.
Just trying to, no, we need it down there.
Okay, so, Mark, sorry, do you have any particular comments on this?
No, it meets pretty much the requirements except for the well, as you know, with the ledge and groundwater, but again, it's their own well. They're 125 feet from 76 Mill Street, which is upgrade. And they're staying 136 to the wetlands. I believe, Dan, you might want to state why you didn't move closer to the wetlands, is there any question maybe?
stay away from wetlands.
You know, it would give you a greater distance to the wetlands.
It would, but as we move back, we get more into the tree clearing, we get more into the
Okay.
slope, and then to catch the grades towards the wetlands.
This one's complicated, so that was kind of the sweet spot for putting it in.
And as the, I don't know, if you knew what the depth was to bedrock there, but it's not clear it would be an advantage to move out to where the
Right.
inlet's dropping off.
It was all pretty consistent ledge at the same elevation. If you went up to the site, you'll see outcrops of ledge.
Yeah. Okay, so go right to the variances. Do we have a motion to grant the variance? Actually, let's ask now. Does anyone have any particular questions before we move on about this? These are things we're pretty familiar with as a board, so we have gone fairly quickly through it. So, okay, if you think of anything, just holler. Okay, do we have a motion to grant a variance to 8.01?
So moved.
Second. Any other comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
And the companion, do we have a motion to grant a variance to 8.02?
Second.
Any comments? All in favor?
Aye.
And do we have a motion to grant a variance to 10.1, which is the distance to their own on-site well?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so I'll close the hearing, and are the plans ready?
Yeah, I wanted just to note to the board too, this for, it's a 3-bedroom existing going to 1 additional bedroom, which is allowed, as long as you're not affecting the butters, wells and so forth. So again, it's only to this well, their own well. So that it is ready for approval conditional to the deed review for both the garbage grinder and the innovative alternative technology that's being used, which is optional.
Great, so we have a motion to approve the plans with those 2 conditions.
Right.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much.
7 minutes.
We got it. It is great.
So Mark, are you recommending, I'm not sure which order to
I saw the,
take. I see for 198.
yeah, they
South
came
Main,
in.
and
I don't know if there's anyone here for 110.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're here first. Yep.
Yes. If you'd like to come up while we're talking about it.
Okay.
So let me pull that information. So we have basically a request to put an additional heated room into the house that was before bedroom house by a septic disposal construction permit issued back in 1977. You're the builder or the owner?
Owner.
Owner, okay, so the owner's here. I think I'm talking to you or the builder.
Probably the builder, John.
Okay, so these plans don't show the whole story, but I do have plans that do. I think the original was saved too. It's an interesting house, the bedrooms are all towards the back. Just had curves and already ready to roll. So this is the present house. And correct me as I go along, you live there, I don't, but there's a finished basement. And the rest of the basement is unfinished, correct? Is there any other finished areas in the basement?
This is the main basement, yeah, this is just slab.
So, this is the finished area, correct? No bathrooms down here. Good. Okay, so it has 1 basement room. And then upstairs, it has, well, this is the room they're proposing. They want to close it off and keep it as a 4-season. And they have the kitchen, eating area, 1, 2, dining area, 3 is the living area, 4 is the family room. And then 4 bedrooms all in a row, right down one. So there's 8 plus the basement room is 9. And a 4-bedroom would allow for 9, they want to go to 10. And so they would either need to record, is the basement below, is it sub-level, the basement room, or can you walk out from the basement?
You can walk out, yeah, there's there's a screen door, so one
Right
side
on the
is.
side?
It's built into grade.
Yeah, it's built in the green.
Okay, so part of it's, but normally we would look at the basement, it already exists, but if you were looking at this, it would go over the 9-room allotments to 10 rooms. So sometimes the board will look at deed recording, and typically we looked at basement rooms.
So if the basement were unfinished and going to finish, we'd say, we think that is or is not finishable based on the appropriateness of the deed recording. In this case, it's just tricky because it's sort of the other direction.
It is, it's already.
This is
And the
different.
walkout, if it didn't have.
So,
walkouts or
so
something,
what would
then
that be in
it'd
performance?
That it's a 4-bedroom house and
Yeah,
can't
it
be
can't be
used.
used as a.
Has 10 rooms, exactly, and cannot be used as, it cannot go exceed 4 bedrooms.
Okay, so from the other ones where we have deed restrictions, do you see anything aside from the walkout, presumably windows down there?
There's
The
just
basement?
there's two sliding doors.
Oh,
So what are you using for now?
The basement,
Mhm.
there's a TV workout.
So like gym.
so aside from that, is there anything,
I think we could
Radically
use our
different
standard
than the-
deed recording that would recognize it as only being a 4-bedroom and not to be considered a 5-bedroom with the additional one.
Just feels, the part, like, the logic that feels like it holds is that room, like, for me, it's like if that room existed on the primary floor and we're finishing the basement, that feels easier than sort
There's
of,
already
but it's sort of
existing, and
like,
now we're adding one to the.
like,
upper
it
floor.
sort of feels like we're piggybacking the ground floor room. But we wouldn't, like, that's an unusual pattern for us to say, we're deed recording it to just say, you've got 10 rooms, but it's a 4-bedroom house. Like, that's not even just Sherborn, is it a bedroom?
right, it's taking one that's been counted and uncounted,
And uncounted,
essentially,
right.
as opposed to finishing it off
Right.
and deed restricting.
Right, and that part feels tricky, and that's not just Sherborn
Yeah.
count, that's like Title 5 count, and that just feels really, that feels tricky for me. Just the most of the basement ones feel not tricky from a slippery standpoint, because usually it's like turning a room downstairs that's like kind of dungeony into something that's incrementally warmer and less dungeony, but not like ground
And there's
floor.
no bathroom accessible down there,
Right.
like you said, there's no bathroom down there,
Right.
so the chances of someone converting that room to a bedroom is
Different.
low versus the extra room that you're putting on the ground floor.
Yeah, the extra room is, it's a screened porch that you're converting into a room, correct?
It's basically just gonna be an extension of the kitchen right now. I mean, it's just gonna open up, it's gonna be one.
Could you knock down the wall?
It's gonna be a big open, like this is gonna open up here.
So
Oh, you're
is
not
it a
actually
separate
showing just
room?
these 2 doors here.
So I would say if it feels like it's super kitchen,
Yeah, there's actually no doors there.
Oh,
Oh, well, that's,
This is way-
better,
This is-
better.
Yeah, this is all gonna be open.
Okay, here's the actual, just so they,
yeah.
here's the plan, is to open this up. There will be still a little bit of sidewalk.
But I think for
Does
me,
that
the-
say remove, does that say remove
This is the plan, it is.
So is there a full wall there now that you're gonna be removing a piece of? Or is
There's
it-
French doors there now,
Yeah.
and those are gonna come out.
Okay.
That part of the wall is gonna come out as well. I'm not-
Well, he's showing kind of the walls backing up some of your equipment, I think your refrigerator, and on this side, it's backing up some equipment.
But it's open.
yeah.
It's gonna be open, yeah.
Well,
Like right
Instead
now,
of-
there's a
there was
closed
a-
wall there, and then
was
Yeah.
it's open
It's gonna be
in the
open.
future state.
Yeah,
It'll be a
that
5'10"
feels-
inch
I
open
feel
right
like,
here.
I feel like ambivalent, but not, but it's
Jumps over,
easier.
you know.
because this.
Yeah, because we have to make it so that we're very comfortable that some, like, people can have a deed restriction and they can ignore it, but if it's a room that's actually open that would require closing, like, if someone,
Like, nobody's gonna
If
turn
you're
that into a
next-
bedroom.
if you sell your house, Mark, here's a question for you, if they sold their house, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Could
I
someone
understand
come
that.
in
I understand
and,
that part.
and put doors in and do that without coming to us?
They're getting to the vote.
Yeah.
I mean, they could do it,
But then they'd be in
should-
violation of their.
They should get a building permit.
That's correct.
Okay.
Like, that process would require building permit.
Okay,
but
so
they-
that makes me feel
Yeah.
better, because, so for
But
someone
you have
to
a lot of
change it.
windows in here, correct? These are all
Yeah,
windows.
Those are all windows, yeah.
So this is showing the
So for you-
proposals for eating areas, so maybe it's an extension of the eating area.
So can we do both? Can we sort of do the deed recording to sort of say this is a 4-bedroom house, the basement can't be converted in. And I think from a room planning standpoint, I think this is consistent with what we've said is that these are continuous spaces and sort of we've opened up a wall that is currently closed. Like essentially it's making the existing room bigger.
Right.
In a way that the result room isn't easily closed off. To be like, I've made a giant walk-in closet that's 250 square feet.
Right.
Yeah, what they're doing, it's a screen porch, just so we can be clear.
Yeah.
Yeah, converting into a eating area, which could be
Well,
part
and
of
also
the
with the
kitchen.
extension of this part of the kitchen,
Kitchen,
then you
yeah.
can't put a table there,
Exactly.
you know.
Yeah.
So if it was
Yeah.
staying like this, and then that,
Yeah.
Yeah, so it kind of
Little
leans
dicey.
I think
back.
Yeah.
that
So I
makes me
think
more
it-
comfortable.
Yeah, because I think it resolves the slippery slope question, which is essentially it's really enlarging a room since the wall that currently closes off the screen porch is.
Right, and then a permit would be required if someone were to modify
Yeah.
that.
And this
Try to
would be-
modify that in the
And
future.
this would be hard to convert to a bedroom though.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't think
Yeah.
that's intending that.
Yeah.
and so the,
But so I think
then
the
it's
key
gonna
pieces
capture
are like
that.
little changes to the plan can really
Changes.
dramatically change how the board feels.
Yeah.
And so the key piece here is that that's really an open space. And if you guys are like, oh, actually it'd be really nice to close that off.
Yeah.
That's not trivial for us in terms of how we think about the room.
Yeah,
So it sounds like
I
it's described here.
this way it's a giant kitchen.
And so in this case, we say that we're, like, this is truly a 9-room house. Right, because we're then saying it's, that essentially it's expanding the size of one room, so then there's no deeper break needed to do anything.
Right, it's 4.5.
Okay. Makes
Okay,
sense.
so we're not gonna
So I don't
require.
think, yeah, so I don't think so.
Wouldn't we want to say though that it's a?
But why would you need a deed recording to say that a 9-room house is a 4-bedroom house?
I guess it's true.
Like,
Well,
either
we-
we count it as a room and you
Right.
need a deed recording, or you don't count it as a room and you
Yeah.
don't need a deed recording.
We could just put an extension of the kitchen when we approve it. So it's understood.
Like
it's
clarify
an
that that's
extension
what
of
that
the
is.
kitchen.
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
Which again, this will show that in the discussion.
So if it ever comes back
What
with
it's
a new
looking
owner
like.
and they say, well, we want to do something different, we say, it was originally approved as an extension to your kitchen.
Okay.
Okay.
And-
Okay.
Yeah, all
So
set.
did you say the septic was 19 to 26?
So that's it. But it's full of, so we have it. This whole.
Obviously, it has Right. In the past,
Yeah, they've had a couple.
That was the design for a
of
garbage grinder?
What's that?
Was the original system designed for a garbage grinder?
Did not work, but I would have to.
One thing we would recommend is, even if it was designed for a garbage grinder, your system will be much better if you do not use a garbage grinder, because undigested food floats,
Yeah.
and then that goes out and clogs up your septic system. So it's not a good idea to have one,
Okay.
so.
They didn't check it off, being designed for it.
That's good.
You don't have them?
We do. We should
Check it out.
Yeah.
I take
It's
it out if I
gone.
were you.
No, but I was just saying, like,
Well,
that
Rosie
is
says
a
it's
conditional.
I think it would have, if it wasn't
Yeah.
designed
Yeah, it
for
wasn't
it,
designed for
you
it.
can't have them,
Okay.
Yeah,
so.
but it sounds like you're
It's not
changing your
bad.
kitchen, so great time to take it out.
You don't need them.
Make a compost
Yeah, you
pile
really
instead.
Awesome. Perfect. Marcia, you guys could,
So the condition will be that your garbage trying to get removed. If you can do that, then I can sign it. So I would get a plumber to get the garbage grinder, I'll go down, verify.
No, the whole thing's going on.
So maybe then I'll approve it with no garbage grinder
yeah,
for the new site.
which is an extension of your kitchen.
Well,
Are you new in town, or?
No, no.
Oh, okay, okay, all right, I won't tell you that.
I'm new to the board.
I throw compost outside all the time and it disappears into the landscape, you know, in years of stuff, so.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Perfect.
All right.
Okay, so 198 South Bay?
You two are next. What was the lady ahead of you?
She's very,
Yeah.
I want to see if you're going to be gentlemen about this. So, we have a septic plan modification, revision, because they have revised. Originally, they came in, I think it was to basically put a long sewer building pipe from the barn and from the, let's see, that's the door, from the garage and the barns over here. They were gonna go with the long line. I told them we needed a waiver of 50 feet is all we allow, or put a tank in. So they decided, the engineers, Gilmore, and they decided to put a septic tank here with the lines feeding from both the one-bedroom proposed apartment and the garage, barn, proposed barn, which is gonna have a dog wash in it or something like that.
Yeah.
And I talked to the engineer, this line goes to a spigot, that's why it comes off their own well at the house, off the house actually, the well for the house is over here. They're gonna come off the house and come out, end it here to the spigot, or maybe it's up here. He said he couldn't show us off the actual plant, and then bring water in this way, and the other water line will come in to the one bedroom this way. There will be some crossing of the sewer line and the water line, and with that, they have to, I'm sorry, this is the water on this side. They have to put in 150 pressure pipe. They're doing it down here as well. So this meets the requirement with the need for a deed recording indicating that they have no garbage grinder, which I'll have to do the verification of, take that out, and then get the deed recording to us as well. And Ellen has the actual form we can use. And then after that's done, we can sign the building plan. But this has to be approved as part of it. It's a two-step process to get to the
Are you recommending?
recommending approval of the modified plan, as well as with the requirement for a deed recording to allow them to, they originally had a 4-bedroom designed septic system. It's fairly new too, it was put in a couple years ago. And they designed it for a garbage grinder. If they take the garbage grinder out, they'll gain the capacity of 6 bedrooms versus the 4 that were originally designed.
And we sort of outlined that at that meeting in terms of these are the steps that need to happen to do that, so this is part of the process. Sounds good.
But they need to get through this step too, which is the approval of their septic plan. Any questions?
So this was under the
Clemens,
new
it says that-
accessory building?
One second.
This was not under.
No, it's not.
Just here, this one.
So Clemencia says that they don't have a garbage grinder now.
So just call me down to inspect.
Take a look, yeah.
But the deed recording still has to be done in case the house ever sells. So that's good. You don't even have to remove one because you don't have one.
Yeah,
That's good.
perfect.
It's even
Yeah, but
better.
it would be good for, since it was recorded as being sized for
Part
Right.
garbage grinder, so it's to your
You
advantage.
just have to inspect it. I can do that with your authority.
Yes, Marcia.
Sounds good.
Okay, so do we have a motion to approve the plans, conditional to the deed recording?
So moved.
Second.
And with any inspection?
Yeah, and this will require pre-construction and all that, but
Okay.
so it is, it's a two-step. Deed recording is for the project, more or less, for the building permit. Plan is for the changes needed to get the barn and the garage tied into the septic system that exists. So this is generally for the, this is for the approval of the septic plan,
That's not a
garage and the barn.
Oh, wait.
They're gonna put the dog
So
wash.
what's the, oh, they're adding?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're gonna put a one-bedroom over the garage.
That's,
And then do the dog,
okay.
some processing of dogs.
I think that was the reason it doesn't sound familiar is because that was the meeting you were here.
I was wondering, I was just.
So these are 3 of us, so if
This
you're
is
like this.
really
Just
not
gonna ask that
sounding
question.
familiar.
Sorry.
That's okay.
They made some decisions
You're
already.
you're getting kids off to college, I think.
Okay.
All right, so back to just with the conditions.
Recommend
deed
approval of the
recording,
plan
so
and
that-
also a deed recording prior to the building permit being approved.
Yeah.
Once that gets approved, they can put this in as they move along with the building permit.
So I think it was seconded, so all those in favor?
All right.
Okay.
I have the deed recording document. You want that now? So this is what you'll need to do.
Perfect.
Okay, so I put.
So we've done that, we've done work with payroll.
They're all filled out, you should have to sign everything.
This feels like
The registry.
And then, and is the budget on the November, is the budget discussion November 13th or November 20th?
I don't think it's good enough.
Okay. Do you want to have it on?
Oh, we still.
So do we want to,
Council, so.
maybe, just the update on the.
They'll be stamped.
Video. We've got a bunch of.
We can slide it.
Yeah, let's put it.
We can plan it for 13th.
Oh, yeah, that sounds good. We're put on the 13th agenda, and then if we don't have new content, we'll roll that over to
By
November
the time
20th.
that the addendum is. Okay.
Sound nice?
So just put up the elections.
Yep, perfect. Sound good?
But tentative and cross it off if we're not.
So if you can just check in with us about if we want it on or off. Sound good?
Okay, so Mark,
Yes.
nothing else from you? I'm not seeing anything on the list. Does anyone
Perfect, the
else?
disposal construction.
Yeah.
Right, and the stamps, plans to be stamped.
Rick, I think we're all set.
I know.
For at least Really?
Good.
Unprecedented?
Yeah, we'll do it. So.
Thank you very much.